What's up, guys? So this video is gonna be pretty cool, as you saw by the title. We're gonna weigh and corner balance my car, and this is something I've been really wanting to do for a long time. Before you fast forward to see the weight, make sure you go and guess what you think it is in the comments, and make some bets with your friends or something, and we'll get to seeing how much it actually does weigh. So the lighting's gonna be kind of dark. One of my lights broke, but I'm basically going to show you guys kind of how corner balancing works a little bit, and then we'll get to throwing the car on the scales and actually doing it. So basically, here are your four corners. You're going to have probably like, let's say like 700, 750, 400, 450. So that's not what mine actually is. I already did weigh it, so I do know, but basically, when you adjust something to add more weight to one side, you actually raise the car because it creates more leverage on that side. So to get this to balance out to here, we would raise this side or lower this side. You can either do that with height adjustment on your coilover or preload. I'm probably just going to do height. I don't want to mess with my preload too much because I like the way my springs are reacting to the weight of the car. So basically, you can only move weight from left to right or right to left, and then diagonal. So these will also affect each other, but this side, these two numbers won't, and these two numbers won't. So it's diagonal and then side to side. So I'm gonna go ahead and weigh the car, and then we'll see what kind of adjustments we need to make. So you pretty much have one on each corner. It's pretty straightforward. And then you have the main unit right here, which takes the measurement. So we're gonna go ahead and turn it on, and you guys can see exactly how much my car weighs and how out of balance it actually is right now. So, by the way, it's already zeroed, there you go. And I already lifted the car up and down, by the way, so the weight does change a little bit, but 2870. So my original guess was that it was going to be like 2700, so it's a little bit heavier than I was expecting, but there are a lot of things that I'm probably going to be able to change, like the battery and my door windows. I might change up and do maybe Lexan, and that would drop it down to probably like 750 or something, like 28 or 2750. But yeah, so looking back at the numbers, you can tell in the front that 891 is because of my battery. It's 802 on the other side, so that's actually pretty balanced. When I do get in the car, it's gonna be a lot more, it's gonna be a lot heavier on the left. And then 647, 533, I don't know why it's so much heavier on the driver's side, but that's going to take a lot of adjustment to get the weight back over. But yeah, so we're going to go ahead and start adjusting. I'm probably going to lower the left side because I'm actually maxed on height in the rear for the field coilovers. So yeah, instead of raising it, we're going to lower it. By the way, I'm like 200 pounds, so with me in it, it's just over 3,000 for like the full weight. Also, the car has a full tank of gas, and there is everything that would be in it if I were gonna go race at the track or something. Full coolant, full oil, everything. So the nice thing about an FRS is you can adjust the rear coilovers without even jacking it up, so I can do it while it's on the scale to make adjustments easy and kind of get a ballpark of how much of an adjustment is gonna change a certain amount of weight. But yeah, so the bottom collar and the mount, that's how you adjust height. And then underneath the shock cover, I'll take it off in a second, is how you adjust preload. So we're just gonna adjust height and lower it a little bit and see what happens on the scale. So I gave the coilover like a couple turns, and this is what we're at right now. So 866 in the front right and 620 in the left rear. That's pretty drastic. I didn't think it would actually move that much with a couple turns. So yeah, I guess it's a 30-pound difference. But yeah, now you can kind of see how the weight actually moves. It adds it to basically the opposite side and then across a little bit. So you kind of got to mix around all the adjustments to be able to get it right. So now I'm probably gonna lower the front left to basically get the front rear to try to match up, or no, sorry, lower the front left to get the rear right to match up with the rear left. I don't want to mess with this side anymore because I need the weight on the right side of the car, so when I sit in it, it's more balanced. I'm gonna get more help once Larry comes, but I'm gonna try to kind of get it as close as I can without me in the car and kind of compensate a little bit by adding extra weight in the right side of the car by raising it higher. Okay, so I don't have a lot of room for adjustment on the fronts. I have this, sorry, I have the locking collar loose right here, so it kind of looks like it's maxed out. But I think this should be enough just from how little I had to adjust the rear to get 100 pounds to move in the car, almost 100 pounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower this, and it should add more weight to the back right and the front right, which is good because I need more weight on that side anyway, especially when I'm sitting in the car. Okay, so I feel like I have this left side dialed in pretty much like where I want it, or the left front at least. I'm gonna make a couple more adjustments in actually the left rear, and then I'm gonna also make an adjustment in the front right. I'm gonna show you the measurements right now so you can kind of see why I'm doing these. So right now, that's what we're at. I'm gonna lower the rear left, and I can't raise the rear right because it's already maxed out. So I'm gonna try and lower that as much as possible. And then I'm gonna take the front right and raise that to get some more weight over there. Yeah, it's already on, like it looks unbalanced, but when I sit in the car, I'm gonna need more weight on that side to actually balance it out because I'm like 200 pounds. And this, 30-pound difference isn't gonna be a big enough difference. Okay, so I have one final adjustment, and then we're gonna go for a test drive. I kind of was losing my mind for a second. It's been like 2 hours, and I've been messing with the front right because I almost had it perfect, but it was really weird because after I adjusted that, it put a bunch of weight in the back left, even though I had those even. And I was playing around with it, and it, like, I just couldn't figure it out. So I went back to this to lower it more, and I actually couldn't really get it to move, and I was just like, what the hell, like it's so low on this side. And I'm not going to touch it anymore because I realized I was jacking the right side up a lot more than the left side, and if you listen closely, you can hear the fuel spilling over the saddle onto the other side of the car, or the opposite side of the car. So that's why one side was starting to get heavier in the back than the other side. And then I moved the jack over and then raised this side, and then obviously all the fuel spilt over, and then that side got super heavy. So it was like messing me up really bad. So honestly, this probably would have been better to do it without gas, just because it's going to be moving around so much when you're drifting anyway, just to be a little more accurate. But yeah, so I'm gonna make one more change, and then we're gonna go drive. When we do go out too, because of this whole virus thing going on, people freaking out and stuff, there's cops everywhere. I don't know if they're gonna be near where I'm gonna be, because apparently there are a lot of them on the freeways, which is not really where I'm gonna be. So we're gonna drive around a little bit once we do go. I'm just gonna knock out this adjustment really quick, and I guess we'll kind of see what happens. I'll just kind of have the camera up and be talking, see how it feels. And if I start seeing a bunch of cops, we're just gonna come back, because this thing is kind of a cop magnet. So, sorry, this stability control makes this super weird, but yeah, it doesn't want to turn the screen. But yeah, so 848, 844 in the front, that's pretty solid, and then 596, and then 587. So the lighter side is the right side, even though it's gonna be a big difference when I'm sitting in there, but I try to compensate just a little bit. I just pretty much corner balanced for me without the car for now. I mean, the car without me. I kind of just did this because I have people riding in the car a lot, so I guess having it be even without me in the car will make it a little bit better for that. But I would like to have it with me in the car. The biggest restrictor is that I can't raise the rear any more than I can on the rear right, just because it's already maxed out. So that's really limiting me, and I can't lower the front left anymore. It's maxed out. So at that point, I'll probably have to add ballasts, and I don't want to add more weight to the car, but overall this should be just a lot better than what it was, because it was just super all over the place before. I have a lot more weight to the right side of the car now to compensate for me, at least. So it's not going to be super drastic. It's drastically unbalanced. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing warmed up, get everything put away, and we're going to go test it out. See how this thing feels. I did test them out with the feel coilovers already, and as some of you guys saw on Instagram, they are very nice. But Now, hopefully, they're gonna be even better. Business when you're driving a really expensive car that you put hours of work into. It is fast though. The new injectors made a difference. It definitely feels like 350 horsepower now. Like I said, it feels a little weird that the car is kind of droopy on one side, but overall the car in general feels a lot better. It's running a lot better, especially because I was having more injector problems, and now I'm not, and it feels great. So let me actually step out into the light because it's dark in here. All right, so overall, I feel like I got the adjustments down for the corner balancing. I was able to move the weight where I wanted it to in the car. I just don't think I was able to do it accurately enough, just the way the fuel saddle is. The tank is full, but I guess some sloshes and gets stuck on one side and then the other. I don't really know, but it moves around a lot, and maybe I could try to fill the tank up more. I thought it was full. I did drive it a little bit, so maybe I used more gas because, I don't know, it is V8 now, but yeah, overall the car does feel a lot faster because I was having injector problems, and on Instagram, I don't know if, yeah, I don't think I went over this in a video, but my charging system and my alternator was not working because the wire to the battery was basically broken or starting to break. So I had really bad spark, and I fixed that, and I went for a test drive the first time when I did drive it with the coilovers, and it felt amazing. It was so much faster, and like I was so down on power for the Burnyard Bash, and now it feels way better. And then I had two runners start glowing because the two injectors, I guess, were running lean or they were bad or whatever, and I replaced all the injectors, made it easy, just as a for sure thing. I'm going to save a couple of the old ones that I know are good as spares, and this thing's, it feels like it's 350 horsepower with the power work, or like the engine working how it should, and then the suspension. Like, this car feels so well put together now. It's exactly how I wanted it. It's pretty much what I've been going for this whole time. I just kind of wish it happened earlier. There's just a lot of kinks to work out and stuff, but yeah, I hope you guys learned how to corner balance today, because I definitely did. It was my first time doing it, and I feel like I got a pretty good hang of it now. I just wish I had a little more adjustability in the coilovers, because they're really like weird with the front being all the way down, maxed out as low as they can on one side, but the rears are maxed out all the way up because the mounting thing is so short. So that's kind of weird. And then being able to add ballast in the car would be able to make me do it more accurately, and maybe like topping off the fuel tank a little bit more. But overall, I did raise the rear left. It was too low. It was rubbing and stuff. So, and honestly, with the fuel slosh going back and forth, it's probably still fine. when I sat in the car, the biggest weight change was more towards the front scales. So that should be totally okay. I don't think it's gonna really make that big of a difference, but the car does feel good. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe. We're gonna go to the track pretty soon. I have my friend Matt from Washington. He was in the video with the 2J FRS. He had the black FRS that we went driving with, and yeah, I feel like we'll make some pretty fun videos together. So look forward to that, and I'll catch you guys next time.